Kabir paused. By now, every eye was focused on him. They wondered what would follow. Everyone had been allotted 3 minutes, and Kabir had only spoken for a minute. Although it was a recess, the students of class 8A was obviously to everything. They were all ears as Kabir continued. So, till now, Kabir had discussed Lieutenant Colonel Sankal Kumar and Sandeepini Krishnan. The class, they were listening to Kabir with rapt attention, although he has only spoken for 1 minute and it was recess, but still the class was sitting there and they were listening to Kabir. Kabir continued. When I grow up, I want to be like Vishnu Dattaram Zande, who was an announcer with Mumbai Railways. For 10 years, on 26th November, he heard a loud explosion at one end of CST platform and saw that some people had blood stains on their clothes. He guessed that something was wrong and he used the public announcement system to tell the people to use different exit. Despite the threat to his life, he stood his ground and guided the people to safety. Kabir continued that when I grow up, I want to be like Vishnu Dattaram Zande. He was an announcer with Mumbai Railways and he worked for Mumbai Railways for 10 years, the little that time. He heard a loud explosion at the one end of CST platform. He saw that few people were there whose clothes were having blood stains. So he used public announcement system in order to guide people to use the another exit on the railway station. He was not worried about his own life, but he was more worried about the safety of the other people. When Kabir looked up, he noticed that Swati's eyes were moist. He suppressed a sob and continued. When I grow up, I want to be fearless like anti-terrorism squad chief Hemant Karkare, who pursued the terrorists in a jeep. He was gunned down by terrorists near Kama Hospital along with his valiant comrades DIG Ashok Kamte and Vijay Sanskar. Hemant Karkare spent his life fighting terror to make our future terror free. Next, Kabir discussed another Indian hero, anti-terrorism squad chief Hemant Karkare, who has given his life in order to wipe out the terrorists. One day when he followed the terrorist gunned down him near Kama Hospital along with his comrade, and the hero was martyred. Kabir now had goosebumps on his arms, and Mrs. Barua was looking down. She did not want her students to notice the tears that had welled up in her eyes. Kabir went on. When I grow up, I want to be compassionate like Muhammad Tawfiq, the young tea vendor who was among the first to help transport the injured to St. George Hospital. Kabir said, when I'll grow up, I want to be like Muhammad Tawfiq, the tea vendor, who was the first person other than army personnel who helped in order to transport the injured people from Hotel Thas to St. George Hospital. When I grow up, I want to be selfless like Sandra Samuel, the Indian nanny who saved the life of the 2-year-old Moshe Holzberg. Sandra said Moshe when Nariman house was attacked. Both of Moshe's parents were killed in the attack. Next, Kabir discussed about a braveheart nanny, Sandra Samuel, who saved the life of 2-year-old Moshe. without caring about her own life and safety. When I grow up, I want to be like the caretakers of Kabristan in Mumbai. They refused to allow the dead terrorists to be buried there. They proved by their resolve that terrorism has no religion and the only true religion in the world is love and respect for all human beings. Kabir said, I want to be like the caretakers of Kabristan. They refused to allow to bury dead terrorists in their Kabristan. They said the people who were dead, who were terrorists, they were having no religion. So we don't allow you people to bury them here. They proved that true religion in the world is to love and respect the humanity. Rom's eyes swelled up with tears and she asked with a choked voice, Who are terrorists, ma'am? Mrs. Barua dabbed a handkerchief to her eyes and said, Terrorists are people like you and me. The only difference between us and them is that their goals are misplaced. No person in his sound mind would kill children as they did in Peshawar. No sensible man will gun down harmless people like the terrorists did in Paris. Terrorists have no nationality or religion. They only have hatred, and that is what they spread. So, after Kabir finished his speech, one of the students asked the teacher that who are these people called terrorists? The teacher explained beautifully that terrorists are people like you and me, but the difference between common people and terrorists is this, that their goals are misplaced. They went in the wrong direction. They killed the innocent people without any purpose. Kabir's heroes were courageous because they cared. I'm sure that, like them, all of you will become pillars of upholding the virtues of peace, tolerance, and selflessness in an India that will one day be free of terror and lead the world. So teacher said, I hope that you all people, you will become like Kabir's heroes and you are going to spread virtues like peace, tolerance and selflessness in India, so that one day India will be terror free and it will lead the world.